a take two, not in the rain. The weather's so nice today though. No, positive thinking. There will be no one there. So we are doing the Ketatahi track, which is part of the Tongariro Alpine Crossing. It is in the national park. The views, even just driving here, have been incredible. So hoping to get a little bit further than the 7Ks of the track and get a little bit higher up the mountain. We've got 4 hours before we need to head off to our next destination. We were meant to do this yesterday, but it was not only pouring with rain, but completely foggy. So we stayed the extra night, and I'm so glad we did because it is gorgeous. It is so sunny and clear, and you can just see so much more. It is freezing cold though, like I feel like a marshmallow, but it's cold. Oh, it's so cool.
It's rather.
You got there.
Ooh. You go first then. Very not even easy.
It is Lord of the Ringsy though.
Yeah.
What do we got to watch out for?
I reckon that's
The Ring Raiders? Is that what they are?
The Dementors.
No, the Dementors. The Ring Raids.
I'm a huge big fan.
Oh no, I've lucky the one. How many stairs do you reckon we've done?
Ah, I think it's sort of 15,000. Small amount.
I'm so puffed.
Huh?
1 sec. Worth it.
Yes.
Worth the 15,000 steps.
Certainly. Just remember, it doesn't brake very well, and it doesn't turn very well. You're doing good, bro.
So we are en route to the mud baths because apparently that is what we are looking for, a bath, not a pool. Although I'm still very disappointed because to me a pool is something you swim in. I feel like it should have been called a mud puddle or a mud pond. But regardless, we have found some baths in Rotorua and we are driving back through. So we thought we'd pop in and check that out and basically just relax and have a good time.
Oh, yeah,
That's cool. You can see if you're like, oh, it's so muddy. Can both be in it. You missed.
There's this one.
Sexy.
Here we go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. In a place to hide, in a one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out. 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 Here we go again. Time is up and I'm calling up my friends. Ain't no wonder why, ain't no wonder right too. Here we go again. Call me up and you wanna be my friend. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out. 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 Look. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't.
Are we going?
Movie Land.
No.
Harry Potter World.
No.
What is it again?
We're going to be hobbits in Hobbit Town. I think I'm a better hobbit already. Welcome home and thank you for coming with us to New Zealand. So on the last day we did actually head back up to the Coromandel Peninsula and we did this amazing sea kayaking tour to Cathedral Cove off the beach there. It was definitely one of the highlights of the trip and I was absolutely gutted I couldn't bring you guys along and get some even photos of it because it was so beautiful, but obviously very wet and not appropriate for my camera. Really nice active day to finish off the trip. As you might have noticed, we did kind of end up circling back a lot on our trip. So we kind of went to Coromandel, down through Rotorua to Taupo to the national park, and then we kind of went back up along a relatively similar path on the way back, and that was a huge benefit of having the van. So our initial itinerary was more circular, but just the way things with the weather, so on our first day in Coromandel it rained, we wanted to do the sea kayak tour then, but we didn't get a chance. We're able to just kind of pick up and go, move things around, and of course when it was raining and pouring in Taupo and we didn't do our national park hike, I was gutted, and I was so grateful that we had the opportunity just to stick around for another day and pray for better weather, which we ended up getting. And again, that hike was one of the other highlights of the trip. I had an amazing trip and I would definitely recommend New Zealand to anyone that has the opportunity to go. We only did the North Island and there were still so many things that we could have seen, so we didn't get far up enough to see the Bay of Islands and we didn't get far down south enough to see Wellington, both of which I would have loved to see. if we did have more time. The South Island is also on the bucket list for the next trip, so if you have any South Island recommendations, please drop them in the comments below so I can check them out and start planning the next trip, because I feel like the best thing to do when you get home from a holiday to prevent those post-holiday blues is to just start planning your next one. Huge thank you to Escape Rentals. That's who we got our van from. I would definitely recommend them. They were 100% on the cheaper side of the market. They were definitely fancier, they were definitely bigger, and, you know, flashier looking modes of transport, but I absolutely loved our van. It was really easy to drive, it fit all of our stuff, and it was simple enough that you could just convert it to van to bed, but it still had all of the stuff we needed in terms of cooking and sleeping, and it was self-contained if that's of interest to anyone, so you can actually freedom camp in it. We elected not to, just because a lot of the freedom camping places didn't have as good of views and I wanted to charge my phone. So if you did like the video, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe to the channel. I absolutely love making travel vlogs, even though it's a little bit different to what I normally do on my channel. So if you guys like seeing them, let me know and I'll bring you guys along. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.